What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Jason's Exotic Reptiles, and it's been quite some time since I've done a video for you guys. I do apologize about that. I've been real busy with work, and pretty much all of my free time goes into cleaning snakes. I've been traveling a lot and hasn't given me enough time to really get around to everything I need to do. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the start of my regular video cycle again. I do appreciate all you guys following and seeing the subscriptions continue to grow. That means a lot to me, and I appreciate the support. So please keep following, subscribing, and giving me some video concepts. Today I'm going to go a little bit on something that I wanted to talk about. It was sparked by some comments that people have had for videos requests, mainly the dangers of breeding. There's a lot of dangers of breeding. I can't cover them in a video. We could go 2 hours long on how to increase or decrease your chances of these dangers and things to do and not to do. But something that you can look out for, the two common issues that I see with breeding boa constrictors. One is tears and potential risks during ovulation. So we're coming into breeding season right now, and once these snakes ovulate, they swell up pretty large. That can cause little micro tears. Feeding them during this time, feeding during any of the breeding season in general, it's causing these snakes to swell pretty large. If they have any type of unhealthy gut bacteria, it can cause little micro tears to become infected. As a result, they become septic and they die. So that's something that is kind of unavoidable in my opinion. It's happened randomly. I wish I could tell you here's what you need to do to avoid it, but it still continues to happen, and it sucks every time. You take these snakes and you raise them minimum 4 years to get these females to breed, and you do something that's completely out of your control, out of their control, and it causes this beautiful animal to die. These animals, maybe you have an animal that's 15, 16 years old and you're still breeding it, or you want to breed it, and the same thing could happen that's almost completely out of your control and something you can't really plan for or try to predict so it doesn't happen. Another one that happens often, or not, I shouldn't say often, but happened to me once this year, was to a snake that I've had for about 15 years. I produced this snake a long time ago. It was one of my first boas I ever produced, and she's given me some nice healthy litters. She's a normal, so she's more of a pet to me than an actual breeder, but I bred her to a motley male. Another one that I produced maybe 12 years ago or so. So these produce just kind of my normals and my motleys that people always like to purchase at shows and randomly through websites. I get that kind of lower price point there. And what happened was this snake must have retained a baby while she laid. So she laid me some nice babies, I believe 15 healthy babies. And in the process, she must have retained a baby. I didn't catch it because I've been traveling a lot for work. And if I was home, I maybe could have done something about it if I saw it soon enough. So she started having loose stools and some really things that weren't looking right on paper. You look at this and you say that's not what her stool should look like. So over the course of the past couple weeks, it's continued. Sometimes they'll pass the baby. Oftentimes the baby will come, it'll just become septic inside of them and cause a big bacterial infection, or I should say cause them to become septic. And it causes a big infection in them, and you ultimately lose the snake. The only resolution to that is you put them on antibiotics immediately and potentially get them surgery to remove it. Very costly, but it can help, and it can save the snake's life. But you have to catch it soon enough, or it's just not gonna do anything. So that was a snake that I'm not going to go all Brian Barczyk on you guys, but that was a snake that I cared for a very long time. I fed it, cleaned it, took care of it, took it out, interacted with it, and it kind of sucks to lose that. Not that you want to lose anything, but when you have an animal you've had for a long time, 15 years, even though it is a normal, it's still something that you've grown semi-attached to as much as you can with a reptile. So that's it kind of sucked to have that. So with that said, if you don't want to risk losing your snake for any type of reason that you could have maybe prevented or not prevented, don't breed it. That's just the bottom line, because things that can happen can be unexpected, and even if they are expected, they could be extremely expensive to fix. We're talking, $5,000-$10,000 upwards of some of these things, and it may not give you 100% chance. Even with surgery, we're talking 10 to 50% chance that this snake could live. depending on where you catch it. I'm throwing these numbers off the top of my head. There's nothing scientific behind that. So someone's going to comment, oh, I've done that. The vet said it was 70% chance. Well, great, 70% chance. The point I'm trying to make is the more broader point. So this snake here is a snake that somebody gave to me about a year ago, and she's a really docile snake, really cool snake. I told him when he gave her to me that I may breed her, and to be honest, I'm probably not. I think she's a really cool snake. She's a hypo. It has nothing to do with trying to get money or trying to do anything like that. I just think she's a cool snake, and I don't want to risk breeding her for the sake of him. This was his pet. This wasn't my pet. This was his. I promised him I would take good care of it, and I don't feel like risking this snake. I think this is a cool snake that is great when people come over the house. They can interact with an animal that isn't going to bite them and isn't going to be aggressive towards them. This is a snake that I could hand to my niece and nephew and say, hold this. You know, you can interact with the reptile and get that experience that I got when I was a kid. So I know I got a little bit off topic, and maybe this video disappointed you based on how it started, but I hope it was helpful to you guys. I do want to hear some more topics. I am going to make some more videos. I'm going to try to make a couple every day so I can post them over some time. We can keep content going. But otherwise, it's almost end of September. It's the start of breeding season, and I'll keep you posted on that one next, because I don't think I'm going to have a great year. So keep following and subscribing. I appreciate it all. Check out the website, www.jasonsexoticreptiles.com, and let's keep going. Thanks, guys.